Greetings, valiant Helldivers, and welcome to the Liberty. I'm your host, Vanguard. Let's get straight to business as the enemies of managed democracy never rest. Galactic War Recap. It's day 411 of the Galactic War, and at present, 36,015 Helldivers are deployed in the field. 28,641 Helldivers, 79.53% of our forces, are on the bug front. 4,667 troops, 12.96% of our forces, are on the bot front, and just 1,805 Helldivers, 5% of our forces, are on the squid front. As it stands, around 25,000, some 69% of our forces, are stationed on Boar Rock. Approximately 2,500, 7% of our forces, are on Dolph, while around 3,700 troops, 10% of our forces, are spread across the bug front. No more delays. The Penrose energy siphon must be fueled. Helldivers. The automaton offensive has not only cost us territory but precious time in the race to slow the Meridian Singularity. As the citizens of Ivus brace for the unthinkable, full planetary evacuation, Super Earth demands immediate action. The deployment of the Penrose energy siphon cannot suffer further delays. This vital device, once fueled, will deliver a decisive blow to the accumulation of dark energy, buying us the time needed to secure our future. Your mission is clear. Deploy to Borok and Esker, cleanse them of the Terminid Scourge, and extract all available E710. The infestation is severe, but High Command has deemed the risks acceptable. This isn't simply another rudimentary major order, it's a battle for the survival of humanity. Fight with honor, fight with fury, and fight for Super Earth. Unprecedented swarm activity on Boar Rock. Is the gloom to blame? Helldivers deployed on Boar Rock are reporting a staggering concentration of Bile Titans and Chargers, far beyond what is typically encountered in even the most entrenched infestations. While heavy bioforms are always a threat, their sheer numbers on this planet have left scientists scrambling for an explanation, and one unsettling possibility looms over all the others: the planet's proximity to the gloom. The gloom, a vast and persistent spore cloud stretching across multiple galactic sectors, has long been a source of mystery. Dr. Ilara Voss, a xenobiologist specializing in Terminid propagation, believes its influence on Borok's infestation cannot be ignored. We know that the gloom is an environment saturated with highly concentrated Terminid spores, Voss explains. Planets on its fringe may experience accelerated infestation cycles, more extreme mutations, or even the spontaneous emergence of advanced bioforms without the typical gestation period. If true, this would mean Borok isn't just a battleground, it's a breeding site, fed directly by the deepest reaches of the Terminid infestation. Other researchers are concerned that prolonged exposure to the gloom is triggering unpredictable genetic expressions in Terminid spores. Dr. Elric Feng of the Super Earth Department of Xenoforms suggests that Bile Titans and Chargers may be appearing in such high numbers because Borok's infestation has been fundamentally altered. We already know that Terminids are shaped by their environment. Variations in temperature, radiation, and mineral composition can change how their spores develop, Feng states. But if the gloom is acting as a kind of evolutionary accelerator, then we must be dealing with Terminids that are growing bigger, faster, and more resilient than anything we've faced before. General Harlan Graves of the Ministry of Defense, however, has a more direct interpretation. We've assumed the gloom is just a side effect of the Terminid life cycle, but what if it serves a greater purpose, he warns. A planet like Boar Rock, positioned on the edge of that spore cloud, could be an intentional staging ground. If these creatures are capable of coordinated planetary-scale infestations, then we aren't just fighting an outbreak, we're fighting a war machine that deploys itself. For now, the true cause remains unknown, but the threat is undeniable. Helldivers on Boar Rock must be prepared for relentless waves of hardened Terminid monstrosities, and yet the mission remains critical. The Penrose energy siphon requires E710, and hesitation is not an option. The Meridian Singularity does not wait. Super Earth watches, the fight continues. Liberate Borok and Esker from the clutches of the bugs. Factory Striders outfitted with Stratagem jammers. Helldivers struggle to overcome new automaton countermeasure. The Clanker war machine continues to evolve, and Helldivers on the front lines are now facing a new and deeply troubling development. Factory Striders have been retrofitted with powerful Stratagem jammers, severely limiting the deployment of vital support systems. Reports from active engagements indicate that these modified Striders are capable of disrupting reinforcements, resupply drops, and even orbital bombardments, making them significantly harder to neutralize. Factory Striders have long been a menace, acting as heavily armored mobile production units capable of deploying waves of enemy forces onto the battlefield. Their durability alone makes them a difficult target, but the addition of advanced electronic warfare capabilities has turned them into a logistical nightmare. Helldivers accustomed to calling down precise Eagle airstrikes or well-placed rail cannon slugs now found their most reliable weapons rendered useless in critical moments. We're seeing entire squads forced to rely on small arms fire against armored targets because their stratagems won't connect, says General Harlan Graves. By the time the jamming is cleared, the enemy has already reinforced. The exact nature of this new automaton technology is still under investigation, but early battlefield assessments suggest the jamming radius is significant, potentially large enough to disable incoming stratagem signals across an entire engagement zone. Some theories propose that the automaton war machine is adapting specifically to Helldiver tactics, prioritizing electronic warfare to counter the overwhelming technological superiority of Super Earth's orbital fleet. Dr. Feng warns that this could signal a broader shift in automaton strategy. We know for sure that this isn't just a defensive measure. If they can effectively neutralize our ability to call in support, they gain the upper hand in prolonged engagements. By using more sophisticated approaches, the automatons are working to erode our battlefield supremacy. In response, the Helldivers are being advised to adopt new countermeasures. Tactical briefings suggest deploying EMP stratagems preemptively and relying more on direct fire anti-armor weaponry like the recoilless rifle and the autocannon. However, as these new stratagem jammers become more widespread, there are concerns that the automaton threat is entering a dangerous new phase. One thing remains certain: the enemy is learning. Super Earth watches, and the fight continues. And now for the Super Earth art of war, strength in camaraderie. The greatest victory is not won alone, but an unbreakable unity. On the battlefields of the galaxy, amidst the fire and fury of war, a Helldiver stands not as an individual, but as part of something greater. The Super Earth art of war teaches that victory is not merely the destruction of the enemy, it is the unshakable bond between comrades, the trust that turns a squad into an unstoppable force. As the great strategist Sun Tzu once wrote, "When your army is united in purpose, even the strongest foe will falter." So too does the Helldiver know that war is not won by the strength of one, but by the will of many. A lone soldier is a fleeting ember, but together, Helldivers are an unquenchable fire. Coordination and discipline forge the path to triumph, for even the most advanced weaponry is meaningless without the brotherhood and sisterhood that wields it. Know your allies as you know yourself, teaches the art of war. For in battle, their survival ensures your own. To move as one, to anticipate without speaking, to throw yourself into the line of fire knowing your squad will cover you, this is the way of the Helldiver. The clanker does not feel, the bug does not think, the squid does not love, but a Helldiver trusts. A Helldiver fights not for glory, but for the comrade at their side. When stratagems fail, when the enemy presses in, it is not the rifle nor the grenade that turns the tide. It is the Helldiver who refuses to leave a friend behind. A single warrior may hold the line, but a united squad will reclaim the stars. So it is written, so it is fought, so it is won. Super Earth watches, Super Earth protects. Together we liberate. For Super Earth and democracy.